So again, not out on a World Economy Forum group here first of all this time. Um, I forget it. Just get away had again out of it doesn't know if it sent it out to be. I think one was out of the cactus simulate like hemp economic relations, cellophane out of plastic. Here is something out of the deserting like the glass functioning of symbiotic out of biogradable similarity or out of paper. The other two ones I didn't remember out to be of. Here is something like a shark out to be here. They're taking an open net out to be as I seen in the documentary. All from finding out rubbish from Ken University of the not of the acid out of her stomach and collecting plastic out of the deeper finding out of the humanity. The other innovation was something out of accident of MIT and the other farming of collecting I think 5 to 10% of the fish farming in the humanity. Um, um, here is like the farming out of carbon solutioning, some solutioning also similarity like the farming out of for the construction similarity like seen on for years out to be instead of an head shooting out of carbon making a lighter weighting out of beer like for shooting the computer of textile and harder the shoots are like from tanking shoots out to be for military out of carbon solution and the similarity of lighter weight out to be so metal symbiotic out of the high functioning or made in steel of Japan and ACC, but the similarity in symbiotic. And, I think that was something of microplastic and health out to be in some farming out of question mark that I seen yesterday. One of the one of searching for something else out to be. Here is something out of foundation, out of seed, a return of blessing doesn't know what they make, evidence out to be, and some investing out of some foundationing out of cancer similarity, then forming out of the diversity of cancers, of solutioning out to be. Yes, something out to be of young brains and old out to be in the forming out of aging or biological aging out of organism for the eternal youth of out of boa constrictor or the classical holding out to be for the soft Mayas and Incas and Macas, the cocaine leaves in the forming out that will bring men to the making saint of earth, wind and fire and water and sun out to be in the forming out of the capital also for the only I think I seen a document about improvement only for the majority of the of mescaline functioning as well as in biotechnology or to be nobility in a main capital ECC or leading culturing or to be like under mode in the caste system as some trader getting into Durban. Yeah, something out of be because I saw the offer of the thing I or something out of the I saw something out of the founding of listing the manager. I had a new thoughts about that belongs out to the majority of older people like the future solution like the university from shifting out from the lowest to the high price segment and the forming out of diversity shift, avoiding also the similarity out of forming out of diverse when you had some high price segment that is not the problem out to be not of outside that is going similarity of diversity of functioning of insects and the forming out of food also the researching out to be the people on Asian less auto comparing a box of that is on ECC on the cost factoring out to be of heavy living of records and similarity. Of how to see sportism and characteristic of indicator of work like the forming out of the anything out healthy living out to be of food supplements I seen something of Phenylphenol, I don't know out of the similarity of ketamine out to be by the software even getting also Vietnamese and aus Yemen out of the out of Good Morning Vietnam, muss man out to be some food and similarity. Here's something out of humanity and Stanford School out of similarity or was when you have curiosity and the environment ought to be out of the 50,000 product, not only the feminist thing out of the models of grandfather's innovation and similarity and slow banding and mass production 10 minutes a daily moment and successful out of mass production before the ham car out to be Adam Stevens similarity and advertising investment out to be DJE like the Didi Chuching had I seen out to be off because in the Guangdong area out to be mentioned like GD.com, Tencent and similarity that I had not known how to be of some two other companies that I one time more global because of that after the similarity are some forming out of university so like aerodroning out of doesn't of manufacturing out of be in Tel Aviv of holding the stick eyes that you find out there anymore of some in some forming out of rice functioning out of be about to see the follow symbolic out of some banana forming out of immersement out of the similarity or to get a vulgarity of Yeah, that's not a funny out question mark. But also for you for 12 was a question mark of my postings. It doesn't know by which social media. And celebrating after 70 years of Tesla out being designed, and it cost me also when you think out to be. I had today for a few minutes out to be at the petrol station without a digital first time seen in some farming out. I would say that's supposed to be the submarine between Azu and not a Geesblau in the farming of green aspect out to be, and maybe a marine out to be some Bentley Cabrio, and I thought about that first about like the Hemka out to be and in the farming of Greece because American Diner out to be of and some backsiding of Cardarian rounding out of the farming out of simulation and thing out to be the nuancing of the new cushioning out to be of Caprio, but not of hard topping out to be softer opening, cleaning out to be. I don't remember what that was. I think it was the recording to the High Times magazine, the farming of aspect and similarity to Mike Tyson for former on the nothing is especially not that I somehow just read some in general and that in the one thing of specificated out of time investment as I said I had also not the time not at the time and the recording missing out of the audio and something because of that forward testificating and then out of the association former and the remembrance and all noting making that's making like old recording what is there doing exactly that you can find after report 9 normally out to be when a bunch of university and it's about 1/4 out to be of all 10 days and that was because I thought because of the niche market of the Wrangler of higher value and BOD function of diversity of so as I mentioned last year out to be the smaller version out to be in the cost factor out of Ford not out of related only as an aspect of design and culturing out to be seen as a diversity of other had some around about half dozen cars the first time seen after last year out of expos of car yeah, AnthonyG.P.R.Ford was a sense of humor because of the closed source RE and open source is at Ford I was posting I don't know what that's suggesting you know to be of fitness video of some genes because of Grok, Gemini, ChatGPT, Meta and Claude no that about Claude maybe I'd seen that on Java, Gemini and yeah, DeepSeek and Quark and Gemini and so many then I had 2018, the first time watch after artificial intelligence was around about worldwide existing I think with all niche market that they are opening and then accelerator new one expanding and see one all of Open in wieder and similarity was it around predicted or not more than 5 dots or 6 dots and when without this synergization that other belongs like to Nova Gruber when they're still bringing that cut out to be out of ByteDance and similarity of TikTok similarity and Nova Gruber Boom Supersonic and similarity and this similarity out of because I had a thought of sending to Stanford and calling when the chief out to be for those chief these devices that was also by feminism out of humoristic of open source and not that in the beginning out of humorism out to be because of the sense of humor was plagiarism out of Stanford and went out of China out to be and the forming out of the forming out for some agreements out of artificial intelligence regulation and similarly was a sense of humor out of because of IPO then expansion on one then had posted about a convincing argument had a university of time like other things that nuanced out to be then expand out in some form of higher value out yeah, but we're thinking out to be many don't know how Guangdong is China #1 automobile city out over 2.5 million cars produced, including 951 new in 2021. And when we see that out to be, I thought out to be of Calais out of Brexit solution last year. Out of the formula, out of who was man bringing them all out to the Brexit or the formula. I seen somebody and they're changing out to be and the expression out to be all over Calais and similarity, but when thought as a hovercraft similarity of car similarity is a high fast losing out to be out of that we ought to see the solar panel solutioning and I think 2019 of bio-gravel ought to be out of the humorism out of the self by 2 weeks out of London out to be Drench code roughly or not a line like a Zion of substance Samsung out to be without a G or some line with the need to not and less out of the cost then you had some charging possibility of panel out to be that's also functioning not only in the Arctic night and in the Arctic not as a similarity here out I am great out of the discussioning how to be thing out when I serve true what I've seen all the indicators when you think after the that was around about after the 100 days about exactly of economists and out of Davos like the Ruto visiting or to be borrowing and sharing on similarity of airplane and then also ship also functioning in similarity out of cost factor for companies and state. Normally, when you must sell that, when you had 75% judgment or said our written also so, and our also economic out to be the B2B business find out to be when you call it manufacturing out to be or let's an airplane and similarity. And that's like out of slate car giving out the older production the modified one I think from Ford autos in production or order in this place and for Toyota and similarity and the third car it seems some other kind of similarity it's unbelievable and when you let the airplanes fair layer on similarity for the company and say that's all cost factor that's then the people make some theater out of the diversity of things that you can return investment out of that to sharing it's unbelievable the cost out to be by some harbor shaker airport at ECC that's unbelievable that's that will make out of the movement. That is that will need with advertising of different campaign and broad improvement out to be he made 300 million a day, 65 million and 3 million export. Jaguar LVGT ad doesn't know out of Bennett and coming out of diversity and seeing out to be the similarity of DOF and ECC out of say in Europe, Platch 9.7 in April out to be it doesn't know the forming of advertising of Jaguar of the LGT, but it predicted out to be that this is forming out of wisdom and similarity, and this is exclusive is also out of identification effect out to be in the forming of marketing identification, idolization, and idealization out to be, but out of that. In that form out only something out of some small greater breast sighting out of décolleté in the forming out of some female guys. I think she had at one time had on 120 million follower and around about 500 follower. Well, to see the aspect of similarity of Tesla, the seen 70% would buy in European 27 a Tesla out other electric car for like BMW or from Volkswagen out of diversity of brand and forming out of the French and ECC as a question mark out of the seen diversity of our aspects out of be from Japan and other forming out of it in this aspect out to be that belongs in that's in general out to be and from wisdom out to be in the nuancing of some cultural aspect. I know those advertising not because I don't have time out to be in the question mark. So that's found that because of the forming like graffiti and forming out of this violet of nobility culturing out and the forming out of a Chinese aspect like the cultural classical out and the nuancing with roofs and the buildings out to be and the forming out of fire working with drones and similarity that is side out holding the rules by the similarity of nation sovereignty and the forming out of aspect of globalization and the forming of data set mental and similarity of reciprocating give 99% conformity and also of course the nuancing possibility when optimized when you see the poverty similarity and the similarity of our forming of aspects out to be, for example, out to be here could you lose that out to be like the petrolling out of stirring of whatever for something else here particularly very close to that of falling out it doesn't know from the falling out of wireless solar charging and a further improvement what I see in similarity that's auch Mount Nina here was something out of the ecological fund like fish farming and similarity. Then you think the flooding out of forming out of cranberry functioning out of the in the ecological of agriculture and the mentioned manifesto of 5 of March, improvement on 5 December 2018, and in the similarity of agriculture, also not listening I don't know. As a similarity of Indian economic ministering out of agriculture and then forming out scenes and something out of diversity, like by I think gross national income out to be an average in India by the population $8,300 and the form of some factor and the diversity of further improvement of technology for electric and solar panel and similarly as some cooperation functioning for the distribution and collection and similarity that the win-win situation like the founding of annexation, exploitation out to be of second and third effect out to be in the similarity out to be in Africa and ECC in South America and similarly. Because of the Asian further improvement like the EU27 agriculture in coal and similarity, and some further improvement in digital age. Ich watch fast if this is openable, I don't know what it means, and I make some commentary. And I have next to the impatient sign bordering of 15 minutes. That was the digital transformation at age like the executive out to be for professional education, because I've seen something of some university. I predicted that was that for before that out to be in the United States. I think that's is the same. No, that was for example Jabo. I had this automatic out to be snowing, holding out, or roboting out to be in the similarity, the garden making out to be in the farming out of, then the more individual out of, or supervising or some gardener out to be when you had such a farming out of similarity, seen something out to be of Leopold's farming out in predicted out to be was the last time in Saint-Tropez, I think out to be the Tine Côte d'Azur, Saint-Tropez and similarity out to be and farming out of similarity Provence and similarity of without the farming out it could be also in the farming of Bordeaux area. I didn't remember that out of Versailles similarity. So that's wait I make on direct on the farming out also included it also, or it's saved or to be and I have not shared it. Here sort of trunk something similarity like the mining out of China and similarity, and the problems out of we of NAFTA homeworkman out to be thinking on my youth as some city remit now 1/4 century zero communication before that out, no normal driving and similarity, and the range on functioning out to be the majority of nations out to by Pony, some supervising driver behind it in the forming of aspect and the stop charging out to be by electric from 0 to 80% when out of 100 in the similarity they can make the sound of
autonomous technology, 12 cameras,
and
4 LiDAR sensors, and 6
radar. That's an American company, and the similarity here was that out to be living blocks and similarity out of when you had interest out of cemetery, out like hemp cemetery and similarity. And here imaging and building a fixed one traps and absorb population, sense danger out to be great things are that patency that particularly also get substantial and farming out of treasury and profit. My aspect out to be about to watch innovation a longer time, not anymore of the also that out of 3 I think 2 boys and under adultery out of teenager age and 2 girls and 3 found in Indian and similarity out to be here that's us that out to be China turning desert and me like the farming out in South Korea making out of the plastic instead of pellets and similarity, some hypogen or some both materials out to be yes, that was as our Ohio
And
State
I think
requiring
it's a good
also
skill to have. No matter their major, every single Ohio State student will be taught how to use AI.
the basic of RE and similar like primarily is going I predicted it's not that bad like the perfect count I thought that the low upper the first moment I like so that was I think an association here's something out of robotics successful worldwide. You know how many accidents technology that was mentioning out to be by Neuralink of Elon Musk because of doctors and hours out to be and out of rational working in the question of ethics. Here out of working because of we got the Nagelor, we got the best factor, was $2 size out of the basic and the weapon and from a prison the problem out is not the fall with weapon of the trouble guys. Yeah, kind of lucky for the ideas, because I think, you know, just only money.
We are the
And
world's
here was
first
this
one-room
is
hotel,
interesting. They had a
global
hotel,
hotel brand that
super
is
keen on the
catering
black. They had
specifically
often
to
out
the
and had
value
got a
segment.
relation to the
We
family.
build one type
You
of
can
room
buy
across the
somehow like
world and
Airbnb
always on
here,
average about
some
500 rooms,
borrowing
which
on
is
saying bouwen
5
dat
times
van out of
typically larger than your
Ireland. Dat is een
budget hotel, which gives us that incredible
and then you
operational
can always
efficiency
van
that
out
allows us to
simulatie
deliver that kind of value. But what's really interesting about the
also a lot
business
of
model
smoking.
is because it's
This one I
we
listened
are the world's
some smoker researching apartment houses in the converted here.
What
Here was
is
interesting.
the
That was I
strangest
think
thing
rich people
you have
have
ever
followed
done
all longer
to
and
save
had
money? I would
a
say the
Lucy
most
go there was
extreme
like
thing
mentioned
I've
by
done
Anna
was
how to be
lower
a
my
millionaire
expenses such
planet
that I was
for the
pretty
Anna
much
body.
only paying
I had seen
utility
now
bills.
Maria
After
how
I
to be a
had
crown
my like
for the above
first
50 hours.
liquidity event, I decided to
Because I think
buy a
over the
$70,000
video
apartment. Where are you
quality
getting
out
an
for me
apartment for
and Mama pulling
$70,000?
about
Las Vegas.
when the children out later
Okay,
out to be
located 5 minutes
47
away from
out
the
to be out.
airport.
I got
So,
I think in ECC. Here said again out of Korean scientist Hannes out to be. I think also a Korean had out to salute the sodium battery of Cutler or similarity was a collaboration out of the universities. Out of here is for the no pollution and just energy. And out of the cactus was out to be that's great out of here. That was like the farming out of some in New Jersey, ammonia, out of electricity, out of some similarity. There's some younger guy of some here carbon-free energy similarity. It's great out of here. Uh, uh, Here's a written out of here. Here, researchers at the Institute of Basic Science, led by Professor Kim Da-Young, have engineered a system where hydrogen encapsulated catalyst floats on water, breaking down PET bottles in hydrogen and valuable byproducts like ethanol, glycol, and without emission. That's like the forming out of Cambridge or out of here, some 50 square that they use by the parking out to be here in Europe out of that's seen out to be in the other one of some 50 square meter making water into hydrogen for the electricity move. It's great out of here.
Hi, Emma.
This is an 8 billion meal.
That is
Well, not the
not too late,
ramen,
just
but the company that makes it.
for people who have the
This
park
is an 8 billion meal.
that was out of box consolidation because CMC Taiwan connection also informing out of the Indian tech with the IPO in relation how to be not only of Starlink and some because of the chip banking out of Samsung and ECC of manufacturing in America and India also in Roxcom out to be by the forming out of contracting and similarity also by the chip out to be with Tata Electronic of IPO of the 8 that promise in the next 3 years out last year. So that is now a little bit longer. I predicted it's 20 minutes.